And now, the best 60-ish seconds of your week.
It's Saturday morning and another edition of the best 60-ish seconds of your week. So, as we always ask, please take a moment to like, share, subscribe, and even comment on the best 60-ish seconds because it helps us build our audience. This week, a lot of the news was again centered around redistricting. A couple of key things. First, the Supreme Court of Virginia struck down that Democrat devised plan there that really was way out of whack by anybody's conjuring and said it was unconstitutional. So they're back to the original plan in the good old Dominion state. Now, another very interesting thing happened this week in the Indiana primary. A bunch of Donald Trump-supported challengers to incumbent Republican senators who had opposed a redistricting plan there were defeated, each and every one of them, sending a clear message across the country that President Trump and his allies want this redistricting done before the midterm elections. And that, of course, is the real question. Should it occur before the midterm elections or in ordinary course? And I'm a traditionalist. I like things done in ordinary fashion after the decennial census, etc. But nobody was screaming and crying when the Democrats made their plays, and frankly, Republicans have to make theirs. It's the only way you get any semblance of reality out of redistricting. So I'm all for President Trump and the efforts that they're now making in places like South Carolina, where they can redistrict the state to eliminate Jim Clyburn's seat, the only remaining Democrat seat in that state, and in other places. So Republicans now have, it appears anyway, for the time being, an advantage in this redistricting game. And you'll hear howls from the left that you didn't hear when they thought they had an advantage. So it all tends to work out in the end. And back here in my home state of Pennsylvania, there's been some talk about trying to convince John Fetterman, a truly independent Democrat, into becoming a Republican and running as a Republican in the next time he's up for re-election, because the Democrats clearly are going to go after him. The question for them is, can they settle on one candidate, or will they have 4 or 5 primary challengers to Senator Fetterman? He said this week he wouldn't make that great of a Republican. Well, he has voted by and large with the Democrat majority, but on a lot of issues that really counted, he's been with the Republicans. The fact is that John Fetterman is truly an independent. And if I were giving him political advice, and he doesn't ask me for it, I'd say run as an independent, caucus with the Republicans, and everything would be pretty good as a result. And since we last spoke, they ran for the roses, the greatest 2 minutes in sports for the sport of kings, and an upset winner comes into the Kentucky Derby this year, running from dead last to finish in first. And the place horse was Renegade, who went off as the early favorite, and with another long shot coming in to show, the payouts were absolutely enormous. Unfortunately, we won't have the Kentucky Derby winner running in the Preakness this year, which makes everybody, I think, kind of sad because it means no Triple Crown winner this year. But an amazing Derby this year, and we'll all look forward to the next edition. And finally, we always try to pay respects to one that left us, even if it was somebody we didn't agree with very often, and that certainly was the case with Ted Turner, who made some really outrageous comments through the years about Christianity, about the country as a whole, about policy initiatives. Of course, he was married to Hanoi Jane, so you kind of didn't have to wonder about where some of that came from, but the founder of the Communist News, CNN, and an early pioneer in the cable broadcast industry, Ted Turner certainly left his mark, to the point where even President Trump said he was a great among broadcasters. And so we'll speak no more evil of the dead and rather say, may he rest in peace. May God rest his soul. Ted Turner departed us this week. And for now, that is the best 60-ish seconds of your week.